Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, 18th of November 2022. In today's Millwall news, the third round draw of the FA Youth Cup has been made and it has got a tasty draw for Millwall. It is number 8, Arsenal v Millwall. Absolutely fantastic. Now, this is the first time that we're coming in the third round. We got an exemption to the third round, just like we do with the actual FA Cup, and ties to be played by Saturday the 17th of December. That's just I think that's around the time of the next draw, so the ties need to be played before that date. It doesn't mean they're going to be played on that date. They never get played on a weekend. For some reason, under 18 games in the FA Youth Cup always kick off weekdays, and it says underneath kick-off 7 p.m. They're always 7 p.m. kickoffs unless both clubs can agree. When a match is drawn after 90 minutes, an extra 30 minutes shall be played, 15 minutes in each half. The score remains level after extra time. The winner shall be determined by taking kicks from the penalty mark in accordance with the procedure adopted by the IFAB board. Matches in the FA Youth Cup competition take priority over all other matches, with the only exception being home first team commitments. So there you go, there is the draw. Quite a few of the Premier teams drawn against each other. Some other notable games. We've got Charlton at home to Newcastle United. Bromley is still in the draw. Technically, they've got to get through Ipswich Town first, and then if they do that, they get Huddersfield Town away. Dover Reflect still in the draw. If they get through Lowestoft Town, they get a kind of derby against Brighton and Hove Albion away. You got Palace versus Man United. So some big games there. Chelsea, a very strong team in the youth level. They're at home to Chester or Bradford City. Tottenham versus QPR, so London derby, another London derby there. And AFC Wimbledon versus Leyton Orient, so another London derby there. So very interesting draw. A lot of big teams could get knocked out at this stage. Sheffield United are home to West Ham United, but the one we're interested in is obviously Arsenal versus Millwall, because you would think, oh my goodness, Emirates, we can go and watch a Millwall game at the Emirates. Those of us who haven't been to the Emirates yet, because we only really go and watch Millwall games or England games, here's a chance to watch a Millwall game at the Emirates. Well, hang on a minute, because there is a section at the bottom. These clubs here have got permission from the FA to play their games at a stadium that is not their home stadium, and Arsenal are one of them, and they can play their games up until the 5th round at Boreham Wood. So we have to wait and see. Doesn't mean they will, although I think they might have a contract with Boreham Wood to play the game there. So that might be written into the contract that they have to play it there, but I don't know. But I would imagine if Arsenal didn't want to play it there, they wouldn't have to. They could play it in the Emirates if they wanted to. But will they? I don't know. Here's the thing. Having a game at Boreham Wood, is that more of a safety risk than having a game at the Emirates Stadium? At the Emirates Stadium, it is a big, massive stadium. They could control the away fans better. At Boreham Wood, even if they make it all ticket, it's a non-league ground. I haven't been there. I imagine it's quite small. You could get fans climbing over the fences. It's, if you get a lot of Millwall fans turning up to that, because technically in name only it's Arsenal, although it is under 18 competition, you might still get a fair few Millwall fans wanting to go to that game to see that game. It's not that far away, Boreham Wood, on the outskirts of London. So I would suggest to Arsenal, it might be better if you actually put this on at the Emirates. Had a little section for Millwall fans so they could partake. They're not going to smash the ground up. There's not going to be any problems. They just want to go and watch Millwall under-18s play Arsenal under-18s in an FA Youth third round match. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? So we still have to wait and see. Obviously, we've got this. This is from the FA. This is the official draw that they document that they put out. We haven't had anything from Millwall FC or anything from Arsenal about this yet. So I imagine they're still mulling it over, talking about it, thinking about what they're going to do. Maybe. Obviously, we got the Premier League on a month's break, more longer a break than what we've got in the Championship. Could they put the game on as a kind of a way of filling the gap in their television channel, Arsenal TV and whatnot? They could put it on at the Emirates. I imagine they could get a fair few Arsenal fans turning up to it because there isn't any other football going on in terms of the first team. Obviously, we've got Leagues 1, the League 2 below, non-league games happening. But this might be interesting to see how they do it, what they agree to. Obviously, Arsenal have a bit of power in this, but Millwall still have to mutually agree to the circumstances that Arsenal want to host the game. So we will see how it goes, but tasty draw. We got a pretty decent youth team rocking on now in the under-21s and under-18s. I showed you in a video the other day, a Romain essay. Absolutely fantastic game he had for starting for the under-21s. So I believe he's still eligible for the under-18s. Maybe it might not be. I'm not too sure. But we shall see. We shall see. So moving on now to this from millwallfc.co.uk. Now they haven't been talking about that game, but they've been doing some other stuff. So they've been talking about the season so far. So in this 22-23 season of two halves, Millwall went to the World Cup hiatus in 6th place in the Championship after an impressive 4-2 win at Preston North End last Saturday. Midfielder, AMC, attacking midfielder, Zian Flemming, eventually collected the match ball after his hat-trick at Deepdale, and loanee Charlie Cresswell notched a fourth to record the Lions' second away league win of the season. Well, we didn't win in the cup, so it's only our second away win of the season anyway. There's no better place to start this roundup from Playmaker Stats, Millwall's official statistical partners. Don't worry, it's not all stats. We're moving on. This is just what Millwall have put up. Then with the Dutch destroyer Flemming, who's made a real impact since joining Millwall from Fortuna Sittard in the summer with 8 goals to his name already this term. The 24-year-old has caught fire after initially going 6 games without a goal at the start of the season. Just 1 goal shy of the top scorers in the division this season, there are a few: McBurney, Rodriguez, Sargent, Gutierrez, Ndai, Hogan, Brereton, Yates and Akpom are tied at the top with 9 championship goals each. Flemming's ability to find dangerous areas and get his shots off in is reflected in his numbers. The former Ajax Academy player has taken 52 shots so far this season, twice as many as any other Millwall player, with 20 of them on target and only 10 blocked. He potentially could have had more too, as he has twice struck the woodwork. Yeah, that was happening early on as well, so he had to get his eye in. I don't know if the goals are bigger in Holland, but he did have to get his eye in. He hit the woodwork quite a few times starting on playing for Millwall. So Flemming's form could prove crucial in the second half of the season if the Lions are to keep themselves in the promotion mix. Set piece specialist. Millwall's headline statistics from their positive start to the season undoubtedly revolve around their aerial prowess and a serious threat they pose from set pieces. The Lions have topped the stat charts through this championship campaign in terms of aerials won. This is an impressive stat, but maybe now is the time to temper our enthusiasm slightly and dig a little deeper. The fact is that Millwall are very strong in aerial duels. Jake Cooper ranked in third in division for headers won, but their direct style of play means they have competed for more balls in the air than any other team in the championship. In total, the Lions have won 520 of the 1,052 aerials they've competed for. Either way, it's still a good stat. Yeah, and the thing with Jake Cooper having ranked third in the division for headers won is because he takes them at both ends, that's so to say. He wins the headers when he's defending a corner, or defending the set piece, or defending long balls forward, and he does the same going forward as an attacking threat. When we have a set piece, or we have a corner, so double bubble, that's why he's got his numbers up. So Mill's fantastic stats from attacking set pieces require no such caveat. To this point, Garrow outside have scored 16 goals from corners, throw-ins and free kicks, including one own goal, which puts them out on their own in the championship this season. In fact, 62% of the 26 goals the Lions have scored have come from set pieces, so nearly 2/3 of our goals have come from set pieces. And I imagine probably some of the rest have come from Zian Flemming. So the aforementioned Flemming has scored 5 of his 8 championship goals from dead balls, excluding penalties, more than any player in the league, while Charlie Creswell's 4 goals for Millwall this season have all come from set pieces. We should add the Lions are one of only 5 teams in the second tier yet to be awarded a spot kick in 22-23. We did get a spot kick, we just didn't score it. Benicofobia had a spot kick, didn't he, against Bristol City, which was missed. That's wrong. You got that wrong. We're the only one who probably hasn't scored one yet. We did get a spot kick, as ever. Or maybe am I getting crazy? I swear we did. Or was that last season? I don't know. Getting weird now. I'm sure it was the other game the other day. It was right at the end. Saville got fouled, didn't he? Yeah, they brought Saville. Yeah, it was this season. Saville got brought down right at the end. Phobia had come on as a substitute. He's had a bit of goal drought, getting a few boo boys on his back. Had a decent chance to score a penalty, and he didn't. So, yeah, that's wrong. As ever, there is a flip side to the coin, which is that Millwall, 10 open play goals, have been reliant on their set piece expertise. Only Preston, Huddersfield, and Wigan netted few goals from free play this season. Yes, and just to, if you haven't figured it out already, how vital that is, here is a graphic made from box-to-box analytics using data from Opta. Left to right is set piece XG. So how many goals are you expected to score from the set pieces you've had? We're about 10. How many we've actually had? 15 or so. I think they've taken off the own goals, so 15. We are above and beyond. We're out. We're off on our fucking own. Yeah, no one's touching us for that. And I would just like to say, can you imagine how much it would be if teams had not started to rugby tackle Jake Cooper at set pieces over the last 2 or 3 games? Maybe they saw this graphic and thought, shit, fuck that. We obviously know what we've got to do to stop Millwall, and let's grab Jake Cooper and drag him to the ground. Nevertheless, so there you go. I think there's still a bit more to read here. Domestic bliss, as has been the case throughout Rowett's time in charge, Mill's foundation has been their strong form at home. 22 of their 31 championship points this season have been picked up at the den-only Blackburn Rovers. Curiously, the only team yet to draw a fixture in the division have won more points on home turf. Since Rowett took the reins, Millwall have won 34 of 72 home games in the championship with a win percentage of 47%. A factor in that they've kept 27 clean sheets during this time, and overall the Den has undeniably been a fortress. Yes, so what that means is your season ticket is absolutely fucking valuable, isn't it? It's worth its weight in gold. The amount of money you're paying, you're getting pretty good value for money now. Controlling the controllables, indeed. In the mould of their manager, Millwall are a side who work hard to be effective and give their opponents very little in the way of encouragement. They rank near the bottom of the league for unsuccessful touches during the season. They've taken 299 if you're interested. And no team in the division has been dispossessed on fewer occasions. On a related matter, the Lions continue to have an impressive disciplinary record. Only QPR and West Brom have received fewer cautions in the Championship this season than Millwall, 34, who are the only team in the division not to pick up a red card, dating back to the start of last season. Yes. Slow starters. After their surge of good form in October and early November, Millwall are coming up on the rails in a great position to attack the second half of the season. The Lions are set to resume their league campaign at Sunderland on Saturday the 3rd of December. One area that Rowett and his troops will certainly look to address is their tendency to ship early goals. Only West Brom have conceded more Championship goals in the opening 15 minutes of games this term than Millwall, with Middlesbrough the only club to leak more in the first 30 minutes than the Lions. Indeed. Going through the stats videos that I do after games, obviously one thing that does stand out when we have a poor performance is that the first shot the opposition have on our goal goes in. And that happened quite often, generally under Bart. Now, that's happened less under George Long. I don't know. Obviously, at the same time that George Long came in, the formation changed. So you don't know who's to thank for that changing. Is it George Long or is it the formation change? But yeah, that has stopped happening now. More match balls, please. It's poised to be a fascinating campaign for the Lions once hostilities resume in early December. And here's a final stat to sign off with. Millwall, with Flemming and Bradshaw, and Burton Albion, who are in the relegation zone at League One, so are the only two EFL teams to boast two hat-trick heroes this season. That brings us to the end of this roundup. Any fans with specific stats they're interested in can drop Playmaker Stats a message on Twitter. Yeah. So there you go. They've been doing this deal with Playmaker Stats, so they do a story like this I think once every month or so. So yeah, there you go. This is from Millwall, obviously trying to pad out the schedule. They've got nothing to talk about for the next 10 days or so. So, it's up to it's a week now, isn't it? Because we've got the Bromley game next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday. So there you go. Moving on now to this. Talking of the goalkeeper, the Millwall boss Gary Rowett has no plans to lose top goalkeeper Bartosz Białkowski. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall manager Gary Rowett has emphasised he has no desire for Bart Białkowski to make a January transfer window exit. The 35-year-old goalkeeper, a back-to-back winner of the club's Player of the Year award, is out of contract in the summer and has lost his starting spot to George Long. Białkowski has been an unused substitute for the last 11 matches, with George Long having an extended run between the posts. The former Ipswich Town player, who has made 152 appearances and kept 50 clean sheets since arriving in SC16, came out of the Lions starting lineup after a 2-0 home loss to QPR on September 14th. Asked by the South London Press if there had been any conversations about whether the Polish shot stopper would look to move on in the new year, Rowett replied, "Not recently. First and foremost, Bart's very, very unfortunate to be out of the team. It's been one of the few times I've probably ever taken anyone out of the team. It's not purely down to form, just down to the team's form at that time, and I felt I needed to change something quite big to make that impact. Being out of the team, Bart's been incredible. He's supported Longy brilliantly, been brilliant around the place. He's not just a top goalkeeper, but also a top bloke. I've got a really good relationship with Bart." Białkowski won Millwall's Player of the Year award in 2020 and 21, also won the EFL Championship Golden Glove in the 2019-20 season, keeping 16 clean sheets. "I don't want him to go anywhere because he's a brilliant player," said Rowett. "I'm sure that there's going to be some point when he's going to need to come back into the team and do what he's done for so long. But at the same time, if he turns around to me and says, 'I want to play,' then he's one of those players we're trying to be respectful of because he's been so good for us." That's kind of where we're at. I've had no indication where that is going to go. As far as I'm concerned, he's here until the summer and possibly beyond. Who knows? That's not a conversation I've had at this moment in time. Indeed. So his contract is up in the summer. Now he is, 35, 36, 35. So he's not really one of those players where you need to cash in on him in January because his contract's going to run out in the summer. But, said this before, from January he can start talking to other clubs because he's going to be out of a job in the summer, and they worked out the deal that players who are out of contract, when they have less than 6 months on their contract, are allowed to be tapped up. That they are allowed to go out and say, hey, I'm looking for a new club in the summer. Anyone interested? Are you interested? Are you interested? So he can do that. Is that going to be a distraction for him? Maybe, maybe not. Will he be allowed to go and meet with the other teams, train with them? Possibly. Don't know, especially if they're like... There was some rumours about him going back to Poland. I'm not too sure about that, seeing as they're on the brink of a war zone. I wouldn't want to move next to a war zone myself, personally. So we don't know. Obviously, he's quite old. He's getting on, but he's still a pretty decent keeper. And so we shouldn't be looking to get rid of him in January. If he wants to leave in January, we should probably try and persuade him not to leave, but not to go, and try and keep him till the summer. And then if he wants to leave on a free in the summer, fair enough. He's earned it. He's played very well. He's 152 appearances, 50 clean sheets, 2 Player of the Season awards, 1 Golden Glove award. I mean, what more can you want? You've come in, you've done a job, you've been very good, and now it's like the beginning of the end, which comes all the time. Now he knows that because we had a few stories at the start of the season where he says, "Oh, I'm prolonging my career. I'm a vegan now, and I'm eating clean and all that." So he obviously knows something's going on. He's not as young as he used to be. His body's changing. He's getting a bit old. So, I mean, it happens to all of us, doesn't it? I mean, what can you do? Time is undefeated. You cannot defeat time. It will get to all of us in the end. So, we just have to see how it plays out. We don't want him leaving before the season ends in case we get an injury to George Long, or he needs to come in for some reason. He can still play a part. Not only that, but I mean, like, his contract's running out next summer. Now, what if we do get promoted? Do we sign him back on? Why not? His clubs in the Premier League, they have 3 decent keepers, sometimes 4. Why not bring him in? So yeah, you bring him along for the ride. Get him to be a Premier League player officially. Because to be honest, yeah, if we do go up, it's going to be one and done. We're going to go up. We're going to have a laugh. We're going to maraud around the country and then get relegated again. And it's going to be something to behold. But that is a long way off, and we've got a lot of games between now and the end of the season. So now, moving on to this, Zian Flemming, nominated for EFL Goal of the Month. Obviously, there's no more games in November, so they've started to do the awards for November now, rather than wait until the end of the month. Because why wait? There's nothing going on. So this is from millwallfc.co.uk. Zian Flemming's goal at Rotherham United has been nominated for the EFL Sky Bet Championship October 2022 Goal of the Month award. Oh, this is for October, is it? Oh, okay. So they're late then. Why have they waited so long? So it's basically a fan vote. You can go on the website and vote. So it's between Zian Flemming, Loser of Watford, Diaz of Blackburn Rovers, and Hamer of Coventry City. So in terms of probably pure numbers, you would think Blackburn Rovers geezer will win that, because they've got a fair few fans around the world now. that he started playing for Chile, so we'll see how he gets on. But if you want to vote for Zian, you click on that link, which is in EFL.com, and go to October Goal of the Month award. Now, missed this the other day. Hungary played, and they played Luxembourg. Why is that on the Millwall video? Well, Callum Styles played, didn't he? He's not at the World Cup, but he is in international football. And what's happening here? It's reset itself. I don't know why they do that. Luxembourg 2, Hungary 2. So you think, well, that's a shit result. Well, fair. Last time they played in Luxembourg, they lost 2-1 and they had a player sent off. So this is actually an improvement. And Callum Styles played the full 90 minutes and he got a red card, a yellow card in the 85th minute. So, and Hungary were winning 2-1. Took it to 2-2 on the 77th minute. So they were 2-1 up and ended up drawing 2-2. So obviously this is a friendly, so you don't know how seriously they took it. There aren't any match ratings for this. This is from SofaScore.com. But you can see the stats. I mean, Hungary definitely the better team, but more possession, more shots, more 9 corner kicks to 1. So probably should have done better than that. But like I said, last time out they lost 2-1, and that is a team that's ranked 36 in Hungary, and a team that's ranked 92nd in Luxembourg. Now Hungary have a game on Sunday. I don't know how they do that. Thought they weren't allowed to play because of the World Cup, but apparently they are. They are playing at 7:15. It's in Hungary. Is it in Budapest? I don't know. But it's against Greece. Another friendly, so we'll see if Callum Styles plays. Hopefully he comes through it okay, not injured. So this is what he's doing. I mean, we've had sort of, I think Benikofobi's in Dubai, Zian Flemming's in Cairo, looking at the pyramids. Callum Styles, unfortunately, is on a busman's holiday. He's playing football for Hungary. So there you go. Now, moving on to this story from twtd.co.uk. This is an Ipswich Town fan website. Why am I bringing you this? Well, Town appoint assistant academy manager. It's a name that some of you may know. Ipswich Town have appointed former Millwall and Brentford winger Marvin Williams as assistant academy manager. The 35-year-old had been working as academy manager at League 2 Sutton United for almost 2 years, having previously been under 21 head coach academy director with the U's since November 2014. The Sydenham Ball wine man was much travelled during a 10-year playing career, representing Millwall, having come through the Lions youth system. And then they list all the other clubs, which I'm not going to go into. They ain't got time. So Town appointed Dean Wright, former Norwich City's head of academy coaching, as academy manager in the summer. So he's just got a new assistant now in Marvin Williams, which fair play to the lad. His career was cut short by a persistent Achilles injury in 2015. So he's gone into coaching, and it seems to be working out well for him. He's doing all right. He's got an assistant under 21 job at Ipswich Town, and they're in our league, so he'll be back. I think their next game is against us. I know our next game is against them. It was supposed to be at the training ground. It's been moved to the Den because the under 21s are on fire. They're playing so well, and they're moving a lot of the games back to the Den. It's a 1:15 kickoff again. Why? I don't know. 1:15. The 5th of December. Millwall under 21s versus Ipswich Town under 21s, with the return of Marvin Williams as assistant head coach. So there you go. And that is it for today's Millwall news. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.